Hi, I'm Matthieu. I'm studying at the University of Manchester, and I graduated from UAS in 2016. I'm currently doing a master's in material science and engineering. How was my experience at university? So far, it's been very eye-opening. I'm a lot more independent. I have to cook for myself, clean for myself, organize my room, keep myself in check, i.e. motivate myself to go to university. And that's been very interesting because I had to do absolutely none of that, especially in Dubai. So I've had to adapt, but it's quite rewarding being independent and being able to do all these things without the input of other people. So overall, I love my university experience. I feel like I'm gaining important knowledge that I'm actually going to use in a future job, which I didn't feel as strongly in school. I'm also doing a course that's based on my favorite subjects, math, physics, and chemistry, which basically took all the best parts of my school day and brought it together. I feel like the IB was the number one thing that prepared me in terms of content. So the IB is very advanced, and a lot of the things that I'm studying now in my more basic courses have already been covered. For example, in my mathematics course, I've covered literally every single subject. In other courses, it's not the IB itself, but the approach to the IB, so the structure that it takes, the studying that it takes, that's what's helping me out. In courses that have more complicated content, it's not the IB itself, but it's the way that we have to approach the IB that is helping me out. I feel like the biggest challenge at university has been motivating myself to go to university. Because in school, there's no choice. There's no freedom of, there aren't any options. Whereas in university, if you want to stay in bed all day, you're free to do that, and no one's going to stop you. Your professors aren't going to keep track of you. Your friends aren't really going to push you to go to university. And so you have to become very self-reliant, and I found that very difficult. So even though that was the most rewarding part of my university experience so far, it was also the most difficult, and I'm still definitely working on it right now. What's been the most positive experience at university? I don't feel like there's been one single most positive experience, but I feel like the experience as a whole of going to university has been absolutely amazing. My social life has never been better. I've met new, interesting people that take similar courses, have similar interests, and have the same strengths that I do, and we're able to have discussions that weren't possible previously. I also feel like being able to survive by myself, cook, clean, work, has been extremely positive in my life. Finally, I think that an extremely positive thing about university is that it furthers your knowledge and understanding in things that you love, things that you're passionate about, and subjects that you want to take into your career in the future. And being able to understand more about the world while doing the things that you love and interacting with friends and having amazingly intelligent professors and being independent, as a whole, this whole experience is extremely rewarding, extremely tough, but very, very amazing. What's a tip that I could have given my previous self? I feel like going into university kind of blindly and finding my own way was part of the experience, but if there is one thing I could have told myself, it's to practice waking up and getting out of bed by yourself. Because I always had my parents, or our maid, or the boss honking at me. But in university, not only are your parents not there, but your friends have their own classes to get to, your roommates have their own schedule, and you're not motivated by anyone but yourself to get out of bed. And on multiple occasions, I stayed in and regretted it and lied to myself by pretending that I would catch up on work in the future and ended up never doing that, which is why I have to work hard during this holiday. So I feel like the number one tip would have been be able to get out of bed and motivate yourself in the morning where your willpower is at its lowest.